It is nearly time again for September Mascot Madness, the second one that I have done over on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. It tips off on August 29th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you would like to participate in this year's tournament, you can head on over to challenge.com/ it's a nice easy URL this time. It's just SMM2020. You can see it right there, and you can fill out a bracket. But to get you excited for this next tournament, I have picked the 5 best games from March Mascot Madness number 2. We're going to jump back to the first round for the third best matchup, which is a game between Michigan State and Texas. Next up, we have Michigan State and Texas. Pretty good color matchup. I'm just gonna double check that just to make sure. If I had my pen, I would write under the Washington State game. I would write they couged it. Michigan State at Texas. All right. Winner plays Washington. Here we go. Double check All-American, 10 minutes baseline. Not playing. I'm in the middle. There we go. Have I tried recruiting? No. I should recruit some better Cougars, though. Cougars will have to wait until the next tournament to try and get a win. Cougars looked good for about 3/4 of that game and then just completely collapsed towards the end. So here we have Michigan State versus Texas, or the teams my brother used in NCAA football dynasty modes. He used both of them. His kickers always won the Groza, which is the kicking award, or the award for best kicking. Michigan State off to a good start here. Block shot with a made field goal, so a 2-0 lead. Block shot on Texas's end, and he'll throw it behind his back like a cool Longhorn. There's just a mess of players in that key. Holy cannoli. Just a bunch of green and orange. Shot up and no good. So Texas still looking for their first field goal. A little over a minute gone here, first half. We'll see if we get more threes in this game. Friendly roll for the Spartans as they take a 4-0 lead. Another cool behind the back pass. Or no look pass. The Longhorns apparently think that I'm judging based on style who's going to win. Catch and shoot. Couldn't get the friendly home roll. And a slow start for both teams offensively. Texas. Almost 2 minutes gone here. Flipping it back outside. Looking to get on the board here. Oh, still can't get it, but finally a tip-in drops for him, and it's 4-2. We saw that with one of the teams in the first 4 tournament that just couldn't get anything to drop early. A nice jam by the Spartan there. I forget exactly which team it was. I think it was the final. It was New Mexico, I believe, who went a very long time without scoring a field goal, and then finally was like, they got a goaltend, and that was their only points for a while. But that's not what we have here. Instead, we have a 6-point lead for the Michigan State Spartans. Three is up and good, cutting the lead in half. I don't know why he baseball pitched it 10 feet. It's more than 10 feet. That's a 2 if it goes. It does. 10-5. Texas working with a lot of guys up around the perimeter there. Nobody really down low. Provided him an opportunity, but they threw the ball back out for some reason. looked a little weird. The Spartans now have an opportunity to run for 2 points. It's going to be short, no good. Again, a lot of people out near the 3-point line. Nobody really... There they finally start to move some people in. Throwing it out to the left. Big three is short. Michigan State recovers the rebound. And defensive foul. A little bit of a reach in there. Number 23, that's their first personal. They immediately threw it away. So that foul actually ended up benefiting the Texas Longhorns a little bit there in the long run. Extra offensive possession here. They running that guy around to the 3-point line. Good defense by Michigan State to cut that off. They still give another pretty good look to another Texas Longhorn who gets 2 friendly bounces for a 10-8 deficit now. Got a guy right behind him. Probably don't want 2 people in the same spot. Shot is up and no good. 10-8. Texas opportunity to tie. Been down by as many as 6 here in the opening half. Game number 2. 6 more to go after this. Exciting stuff. Ooh, nice jam. Does tie it up at 10-10. You might as well just erase that 1 off both the scores because we're 0-0. That's a very dumb sentence. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. Halfway done here in the first half. Michigan State responds with a jam of their own. Pardon me. And takes a 2-point lead. So Texas has never led. They've tied technically once. They'll have an opportunity to lead here if this free throw is true. 12-12. One is good. So 13-12, Texas leads. Out of bounds, Michigan State will retain possession. Saw a lot of that in the first game, in the Washington State game. Nice jam inside. Michigan State gets the lead back, 14-13. A lot of those steals where the players are kind of diving for it, and a lot of missed opportunities. A couple that went the way of the team trying to steal. As Texas nails a 3 to take a 2-point lead, their largest of the game. Michigan State seems like they've hit a little bit of a lull. Got a guy wide open in the corner, and they just did not pass it to him. And I mean, he was wide open for a while. He set up a tent, threw down a barbecue, cooked up some brats, just hung out. It's like, yo, you guys want to come by? I got buns. Both of them are good. Michigan State ties it up 16 all. So I think we are just working with a slower paced game. Maybe it's just that there are like more misses. That was a nice steal by Michigan State, and we'll have an opportunity to take the lead. They do 18-16. I'm sure I'll hit that point a lot, but it is surprising because it does seem like the halves end with like 30 points apiece, whereas these are ending not with that. They're not that far off, granted, but like 54-44 seems like kind of a low score. Maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. Three is up, no good. Take a look. Yeah, looks like they score. Well, maybe it's not that bad. Trading misses, it looks like, down here. 48-43. Okay. 54. 43-34. Oh, okay, maybe it's not that. Not that big of a difference. My bad. I'll stop harping on it. All right, here we have an 18-18 game in the great state of Texas, Austin, Texas, to be specific. Another attempted steal by the Longhorns. Doesn't work out as planned, but that steal does work out. Got in the passing lane, gives them an opportunity to run a fast break here. Block inside. Recovered by Texas. Stolen away by the Michigan State Spartans. They'll run up the floor. (18-18), under 2 minutes to go here. Blocked by Texas, turned over. Texas had maybe a little bit of opportunity to run a fast break, but they did not throw the ball up. Instead, they'll throw it way back behind the line. Way back behind the line. Stolen away by Michigan State. I thought that was going to get past him. The ball just kind of like evaporated and dropped like a rock into the Spartans' hand. Shot up and over the Texas Longhorn defender. He's good. 20-18 now. Approaching the 1 minute mark. Been a pretty solid defensive game. Lots of blocks, turnovers. Texas has done a good job at working with what Michigan State's been able to give them or been willing to give them. Kind of claw their way back into the game when it could have gotten out of hand pretty early. They hung around, tied it up at 10, and again tied it at 20. That's a 3. Because again, the hitboxes are a little off. If this game does get broken out as a best of. Texas swinging it over to the left side. Couple steps inside. Nice layup. 23-22. No 23-19 games so far. Monsters Inc. is a great movie. It's my favorite Pixar movie. I wasn't picking my nose. I was scratching next to it. No go there for the Michigan State Spartans. Good defensive recovery. Stripped it away from the Texas player, and they'll maybe hold for the final shot. Maybe? Off the side of the backboard, blocked. Texas will take a full court shot, no good. Michigan State, oh, I guess there was still time on the clock. Okay, did not realize that. No, there were 0.2 of a second. So Michigan State enters halftime ahead by 1. 23-22, 3 from Texas out of the break. No good, but an offensive rebound putback makes it a 24-23 game. Just a couple of good close games, at least through the first half here, to open up the tournament. The hometown Cougars lost the opening game. The team that I always put farther than I know they can achieve. But there's always that one time. (25-24). Oh, nice steal by Michigan State. Nice inside play. Oh, that's going to be a foul. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's out of bounds. My apologies. I read Texas ball, and I just didn't compute what it was. Out to the outside. A lot of players over in that section of the floor. There you go. Throw it out of traffic. Oh, nothing going there for the Longhorns. Off the side of the back. That wasn't even a good foul. That was more than likely going to go out of bounds and be Texas's ball, but instead they got the foul on Michigan State. Oh, that was a very bad miss. So Michigan State will maintain a 2-point lead. Nice 3 from Texas. Could be, if Texas wins, it can be an interesting 3-point battle. Both the schools with state in their name haven't been quite as willing to shoot the 3 as Michigan State proves me wrong. Nice shot there. Don't know why we're getting a replay of it, but 29-27. Michigan State with their 2-point edge back. Texas got just annihilated. Out of bounds. I'm pretty sure the Longhorns touched that. Not even last, but like as the ball was falling out of bounds. Like he was in the orange and he was like, I'm going to touch this. And his coach is like, why? Why would you touch that? That doesn't make any sense, sir. Although I'm sure that the coach wasn't that kind. Probably didn't call him sir. And probably had a few more profanities on there. Why'd you fucking touch that, you fucking idiot? Like that. But Texas knocks down, I believe that was a 3. Michigan State with a wild shot there. And Texas, Washington did that same thing. Just walked the ball out of bounds, which is weird. It's like they get on a weird pathing or something like that, where the game thinks, then the Michigan State player did the exact same thing that the Texas player did. That ball was out of bounds, clearly off the other team, or more than likely off the other team, and was half a body out of bounds, and thought, I got this, coach. I got it, coach. I got this for you. But going back to what I was saying, it's like a weird pathing where the AI just goes too far to the left. They usually try to throw it back in bounds at the last second, but that's 2 times now where they just run out of bounds. It's weird. So Michigan State leads 33-32. Back outside to Texas. Up and no good. Michigan State with a rebound. Good defense by the Longhorns prevents any sort of easy layup. Instead, they'll play 5-on-5. Turned over. Texas opportunity. Nice pass there. Give them a better opportunity of making that nice, easy layup. And it's 34-33. Texas with a nice run out there. Nice easy basket. Just like that, a little 4-0 run turns into a 3-point Texas Longhorn lead. Three by Michigan State is up and good, so that'll knot it up at 36. This was about the time Washington decided to go on a huge tear to win their game. We'll see if either of these teams elect to go that route. Out of bounds, Michigan State ball. So they threw it off the back of the backboard. That happens a lot in this game. And then in this series, seems to be a problem. And by in this series, I mean 05, which we used last March, 09, which we used last September, and now this. Like the player just gets too far under the basket, but still thinks that they can make a layup. Or the animation just takes a second too long to kick in, or I'm not exactly sure what happens, but then they just throw it off the backboard. It's weird. 38-36, Michigan State leads. They, for some reason, have now decided to switch to a full court press, probably to get extra turnovers like that, which is fine. Just is weird. They haven't really needed to use it all that much. They've been doing really well defensively as they give it away. Nice block. Back over to Michigan State. Wasn't sure if that was a 3 or not. Went through a bunch of hands though. Finally, Michigan State picks it up and jams it down. 40-36 now. Three for Texas cuts the lead down to 1, 40-39. 4.5 to go here in the second half. Exciting game we have for you. 1 point lead, Michigan State trying to retaliate with 3 of their own. No good. Texas back up the floor. Tried to affect the shot, but still able to get a nice friendly bounce there. 41-40. Michigan State has weathered any sort of Texas storm. Not that they've been up by a terribly large margin. I want to say like 6. I think has been the biggest gap between the teams, and that was That was Michigan State. That was Michigan State early. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but the game could have gotten out of hand. All of a sudden, you know, if Texas doesn't make a shot when it's like 10-4, all of a sudden it's 14-16-4, and I think that's a much steeper hill to climb, even though, you know, it was still early in the game. But we've seen a lot of those games before in this tournament. Texas misses a shot. They miss 2 shots. They have a 3rd shot. Finally goes down to regain the lead. But we have seen games in this tournament where a team does get out to a really big lead, like a 16-4 lead, and maybe the team that's down by such a large margin makes a run at it, but it never really feels like they're ever in the game. So having this is definitely helpful. Michigan State misses a shot there, but the putback is good, 46-45. Slams it home. But, you know, thankfully, a couple good games here to start this tournament off. Hook shot by Texas is good. Hook 'em. Or this is hook 'em, but then a bunch of people were doing this, like horns down, and then the Big 12 was like, hey, don't do that. And it's like, shut up. No one cares. Nice jam home for Michigan State, and they'll retake the lead. Kind of a similar situation there. And this shot leading to a putback slam to give their team a 1-point lead. Under 2.5 to go. Coming down to it. Flipped up. Oh, it didn't really go, but it must have hit like a trigger in the game to be like, yeah, it's not going in. We're good. We're fine. Don't worry about it. Shot is up and shot is good. Texas now working with a little bit of a full court press here. They're really just working with one person, so I guess that's more of a full court defense. Full court press usually has 3 on 2 in the back. Michigan State sinks it 50-49, so we've been trading the lead here for the last minute or so. 2-point jams like that certainly help. 51-50. Texas takes the lead back. Of course, the flip side of, you know, big leads is bigger comeback opportunities. You know? All of a sudden, you're talking about like a 16-4 game. You think they're out of it, and they chip away for a bunch of it. Texas, nothing going. Offensive rebound. With 1:26 remaining, we continue to shift that 1-point lead back and forth. Offensive rebounds have been key. I was going to say monstrously important. Nice block shot there. Even the block shots have been going to the team on the offensive side and able to put it back. So offensive rebounds, good positioning has been very, very helpful for both teams to trade this very small lead back and forth. We'll see if Michigan State takes a timeout. They indeed will. Now down 55-54. Both teams do have 5 timeouts left, which is a lot of timeouts. It's a lot. And I would imagine that they'll take them should they continue to trade this small lead back and forth. Michigan State, ooh, nice run down. Oh, couldn't get it. Oh no, that was probably the best look either team has had in the last 2 minutes, and he wasn't able to put it down. We have 26 on the shot clock. Now Texas took that shot way too quickly. You want to burn that clock down as much as you can. But that's okay. Michigan State still only down 1 possession. They need a 3. They have been willing to take them. Can't have a 5-second violation. Okay, thankfully. Another 5-second violation opportunity. Okay. Backed off of them. Another 5-second violation thing pops again. What in the heck is happening? Oh no, Michigan State is going to use all of this clock. The 3 is up. The 3 is good, though. The 3 is good. Oh, my goodness. What a stupid play that was. He almost had 4 separate 5-second violations. Texas is playing for overtime, but we're going to overtime in game number 2. Texas and Michigan State are giving us 5 bonus minutes of basketball. 57 all here. Michigan State lucky to be here. Texas working with that play again where they just huddle everyone at the three-point line. Three-pointer for Texas up and good. You do wonder if Texas could have hit a buzzer beater on a play like that. They've been hot from 3, but obviously Michigan State. What's weird is the ball didn't advance for the Texas Longhorns. They ended up having to take a full court length shot instead of trying to set up like a half court play. Michigan State only 1 for 2 on the free throws. Texas with a 2-point lead. Hopefully this is an exciting finish and Texas doesn't just blow them out in the overtime. That's always the worst, is like a team gets really close, they like really close and it's like a tense finish. Somebody hits a shot kind of like that right at the end to like give their team a chance and they just get blown out by like 10 in overtime. You're like, well, that was just kind of delaying the inevitable, wasn't it? Thanks for playing though. Texas, quick in, under 10 on the shot clock here. About a minute gone in the overtime period. Spun around, no good. Offensive rebound, putback is good. The Michigan State the Michigan State defender just missed that. Was in the correct position and everything. Down 2 now, cutting that lead in half. 62-60. So 5-3 in the overtime period. Michigan Texas is going to run that 3-point play. It's up. It is short. Defensive rebound by Michigan State. They've been good. They've not only been willing to run it, but they've been good at it. Michigan State tries a 3 of their own. No good. Putback is no good. Putback is finally good. And we're all knotted up at 62. They were really going for that. They were going for the, we want the win. 3 with 3 minutes left in overtime. He's calling game. Game! Not only did you miss it, man, but also there's 3 minutes left. Texas retakes their 2-point lead. Michigan State banging home a 2. That's a deep 2. I would assume that's foot on the line, or they would just step in front of it. A little hard to tell because everything happens so fast. And that's the idea. Like, the idea is you want to throw, catch, and shoot very quickly. Which is why that play is so automatic in some versions of this game, and why it's so important to try and balance that out as best you can. Ooh, off the iron, no good. Michigan State with an opportunity to take the lead. First lead in overtime, maybe? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, they didn't make the shot. Oh. Ooh, turnover. There we go, nice jam inside. That's been surprisingly effective. Just kind of like pushing the dude out of the way and just going, fuck you, right on the rim. Passing it around, down 2, 1:39 remaining here in the overtime period. Almost another turnover. A couple players getting up off the floor. They're going for the ball. Pass over. No good. Michigan State defensive rebound. Michigan State has the lead here in the overtime period. I believe it's their first lead of the overtime period. But that's all that matters. As long as you're leading by the final buzzer, that's all that counts. Michigan State now up 4. Texas will take a timeout with a Master Chief amount of time remaining. Set up something. Down 4. You can take a 2 here. Your defense has been good, and you've actually been great from the 3-point line, and you also have been getting a lot of offensive rebounds. As a 2, deep 2, 68-66. Texas needs to hit a 3-pointer right at the buzzer to give us a 69-68 game. Or Michigan State gets fouled, only makes one of the free throws. Then we go to a second overtime tied at 69. It's not going to happen. That shot was short off the right iron. So we'll go to the line for 2. 68-67. Texas opportunity to tie here with this. This free throw, 50. He missed it. He just missed it off that right side. Pass it back out. Texas doesn't have to foul here, only down 1. It's a 3 for Michigan State, and that is an important 3 points. 4-point lead. What I was trying to say is, as he shot that shot, was the Texas Longhorns don't have to foul in that scenario because there was still time after the shot clock would have gone off. 3 from Texas is no good. The tip-in is good, though. 71-69. Noise. They'll defensively foul Michigan State. See if they can... Nope. Okay. I was curious if they can get a turnover on the inbound pass, but nothing doing. Short on the free throw. Texas with 22 seconds remaining. Free throws are something that are going to be fascinating as this tournament continues. Texas, you cooked it. What are you doing? You threw it right to him. First free throw was good. No big deal. 3-pointer, which Texas has been hot at. Ooh, 4 points now. 18.5 to go, another timeout. I can't believe that. I mean, they threw it right to him. 17, you got to push the floor a little bit faster. There you go. There's a 3, short. Defensive rebound. It looks like Michigan State is going to walk out of here with a win. Hard fought, close game throughout. Short on the shot. Michigan State is letting Texas live. I mean, granted, there are only 8 seconds remaining. He's got to go. Put it up. Oh, no good. Texas goes down in overtime. 73-69. Noise. After the thrilling overtime victory against Texas, Michigan State would advance to the Sweet 16, where they would lose to, surprise, surprise, Louisville, in the second victim of the top 5 games winners losing later in the tournament to Louisville. Though unfortunately for them, if they beat Oklahoma in the 7th game of day 1 and Louisville wins in the 8th game of day 1, they'll have another collision course, but this time it'll be in the round of 32. As for Texas, they'll look to rebound and get past the first round in a matchup against Tennessee in the final game of day number 2. So where do you think these teams will finish in this September's tournament? Remember to go on over to challenge.com, again right there, and fill out a bracket. And then tune in to twitch.tv/ShawnosaurusRex starting August 29th at 4 p.m. Pacific time to catch every one of these 64 games live. We will be back next week with another entry in the top 5 March Mascot Madness 2 games.